Indeed, a happy new year to you, our dear viewer. Thank you so much for joining us and allowing us into your space. My name is Patricia Lukoma Mpango, and this is your lunchtime news. Now, straight away into the bulletin. President Museveni met and held discussions with a group of parliamentary speakers from several countries at Munyonyo Commonwealth Resort, Kampala. The speakers are part of the ongoing 27th conference of speakers and presiding officers of the Commonwealth, CISPOC, being held in Kampala from the 3rd to 6th January 2024. The president engaged speakers from Sri Lanka, Ghana, Burundi, and South Sudan in successive meetings, which were held on the sidelines of the conference. In a meeting with the Speaker of Parliament of Sri Lanka, Right Honorable Mahinda Yapa, President Museveni said Uganda is ready for investment and cooperation with Sri Lanka. He said the East African country has everything that is required for investment, including a ready market for finished goods. Right Honorable Mahinda commended President Museveni for being a good leader and exemplary leader. He also informed the president that Sri Lanka is doing well economically despite being hit by the COVID-19 effects. In another meeting with the Speaker of Ghana's Parliament, Right Honorable Alban S.K. Bagbin, and his delegation, President Museveni urged the leaders to shun politics of identity and embrace politics of interest to enable the people they lead to acquire prosperity. On his part, Right Honorable Bagbin thanked President Museveni for his good leadership skills that have enabled him to become an outstanding and admirable leader in the region. In another meeting, President Museveni and the South Sudan National Assembly Speaker, Right Honorable Ujema Nunu Kumba, discussed the social-political dynamics of South Sudan, including the issue of elections. The president also had a brief engagement with the Speaker of Burundi National Assembly, Right Honorable Gales Daniel Ndabirabe, as we hear more in this report. Now, in a bid to harness revenue collection in local government units across the country, the Ministry of Local Government has conducted a capacity building on the newly introduced digital revenue collection dubbed e-log revenue system, while facilitating during a training of councillors of Mbale City at Mbale City Council Chambers. Charles Mwijuche, Principal Inspector in the Ministry of Local Government, stressed that the systematics of to bridge the gaps prevailed in revenue collection systems in the country for local governments to enhance their tax base. Let's hear more in this report.
Among the recently established administrative units in the country, transitioning from a municipality to a state status, Mbale City Council has grappled with revenue collection challenges. Some officers are reported to use state council receipts to collect revenue, yet the funds don't reach council coffers.
People go and meet our taxpayers, and people give them money in physical cash. Then I cannot underrate the fact that there's a lot of corruption. Taxpayer is supposed to pay 2 million, he ends up paying 500, and also the staff moves away with a little kickback for him or herself.
Abdallah Magambo, the Mbale State Council Speaker, noted that for the financial year 2022-2023 budget, the council projected Uganda shillings 5.9 billion, but only realized Uganda shillings 2 billion, attributing the shortfall to a poor revenue collection system.
The financial year of 2022-2023, we had a projection of 5.9 billion, but we only realized 2 billion. That means there's been a lot of leakage concerning local revenue.
During the training of Mbale State Council staff and councillors at the Mbale State Chambers, Charles Mwijuche reiterated the importance of forming teams to conduct a comprehensive registration of taxpayers taxpayers word by word.
Create a team with a good team leader, and under clear instructions, you say tomorrow we go into this ward. I want you to come back in the evening after 1 week with a full register of people in that ward.
Some council officials raised concerns about effectively collecting revenue from Mbale-Kampala taxis, whose drivers have been remitting revenue to Kampala authorities. Mwishicha, however, assured that the e-log revenue system enables the city to collect such revenue from tax operators.
We select a route from the system. You get a team to get them tax park. What again, achi? My media taxi operators to go ahead desk in computer. Ajawa ture
The Mbale State Traders Association, Mbasita, welcomed the new system through their communications officer, Kamade Musosi. They called for more capacity building for the entire business community to facilitate the adoption of this new technology.
Abasuubuzi abasinga bakaluzibwa ne digital. Era abantu tujja kuba tubasaba nti bajje wansi mu basuubuzi basobole basensitizinga ababulire kubanga abasinga obungi muntu digital ebasumbuwa.
According to city authorities, Mbale has projected Uganda shilling 6.3 billion for the 2023-2024 financial year budget. They are optimistic about realizing at least 70 to 80% of this projection with the implementation of the e-log revenue system.
Now, the East African troops left the eastern DR Congo a few weeks ago, fueling tensions in the restive region. M23 rebels have reportedly recaptured some of the areas the region force vacated, compelling thousands of local residents to flee. CGTN's Enoch Asikolier visited the region recently, where he met some internally displaced persons as they share their experiences.
Of explosions and gunfire makes Charlotte tremble. Several months ago, fighting between rebel groups and government forces in the eastern Congo reached her hometown, Ruchuru, about 10 kilometers from the Uganda border. She said she was lucky to escape with her life.
They killed so many people, including government forces. Many of them died. Many of my neighbors too. They were gunned down, and it's only God who protected me.
As she looked around, seeing many of her friends and family dead, Lotte quickly understood to stay alive herself, she would have to leave everything behind: her land, home, and other valuable possessions. As she gets used to her new surroundings at a camp for displaced persons, she knows her life has been changed forever.
I was a farmer and a trader back home, but now I am suffering because all that I had, I no longer have. I no longer eat the kind of food I had, so life has really changed. I am living a bad life now.
For over a year now, these temporary structures inside a school in Nyiragongo in North Kivu province have been her home, and thousands of others displaced by the conflict. Many more line up this stretch of road between Nyiragongo and Goma town, the capital of North Kivu province. It is estimated that 6.9 million people have been displaced here in the Democratic Republic of Congo since violence started in March 2022 between government forces and rebel groups. In these camps, there is no food or medicine. Cholera and other diseases are killing many of its residents. Women and children are the most affected. For hours now, I've been here in the camp for the internally displaced persons in Nyiragongo, some 3 kilometers from Goma town in North Kivu province. And what I've seen are people living in despair, are people living in pain, and are people living by hope. Their hope is that peace will be realized soon.
We have lots of problems. We only survive by gathering firewood from the forest and selling it on the market. There are days when we fail to achieve that, and so we go hungry.
I am so depressed with the situation here. Living a very bad life in this camp, makes me have a lot on my mind. It's so depressing.
In early 2023, the M23 rebels, by far the biggest group, were pushed back by government forces supported by troops from the United Nations and the East African Community Regional Force. But the regional force has now vacated Eastern Congo. The UN forces, MONUSCO, is expected to fully depart Africa's second largest country by the end of 2024. Analysts like Herbert Masemeko say the move to pull out East African forces has already created a void that rebels could capitalize on to recapture areas closer to Goma.
The force had the first priority to secure a population, but today the force has gone, and as on ground today the fights have already started, and the M23 have already captured those regions they have left to the East African Community Forces. Today, as we are speaking, there are fights in Masisi territory, and the situation is getting worse.
For those living in IDP camps dotted across Eastern Congo, all they wish for in the new year is peace and security. Enoch Sikolia, CGTN, Goma, in the Democratic Republic of Congo.
Now, something to do with smart homes. Minister for ICT, Chris Badiomonsi, has revealed that the government is aiming at building a government campus to relocate officers to save taxpayers' money, which the government uses more than 100 billion in rent. He was speaking at the launch of smart homes being built at Larry Group's company in an effort to promote technology in homes while saving the environment at Hampam Villa, Arkwright, Bwebaja.
Of the smart home schemes at Hampam Villa, Honorable Badiomonsi emphasized that government spends over 100 billion on renting offices for various agencies and ministries. He stated that it's time for the government to promote and utilize technology to address this issue.
We shall launch smart home solutions, and the LGC is the brain behind this.
The government campus in Bwebaja, because we spend more than 100 billion shillings in rent as government from wherever, especially in Kampala, but some of them like agriculture, and this will come from Marina or Paramoja to get the government service in Kampala, maybe one for a week. If you have to go to the Ministry of Health, you have a mission, health, education, home agriculture, you have to do health in one of the agriculture, and home education is going in many places. There is paramilitary, there is I think the new offices there, Makasero, when government offices are scattered all over. So we took a decision to buy this project with Bwebaja and join the MOA and then work with MSSF to put the campus where we shall house all the government offices. And we're saying now that the project is at the infancy stage, we should plan to have technology as part of the technology in the construction and so forth, and many other projects.
The minister underscored the significance of the latest smart homes technology, affirming government is continuous support for this initiative.
So we will talk of business and commerce, housing and infrastructure.
Well, we do apologize for that technical glitch. We will be bringing you that story in our subsequent bulletins. As we move ahead, anger in Mogadishu is growing over Ethiopia's deal with Somaliland, which broke away and declared its independence from Somalia in 1991. Somalia and Somaliland had agreed to resume dialogue before the controversial deal was signed, as you will hear more in this report.
The announcement of port and naval-based deal between Somaliland region of northern Somalia and Ethiopia. The top leadership in Somalia have embarked on diplomatic front to to defend what they termed as territorial integrity and sovereignty of Somalia. We understand that during the past 48 hours, Somalia's recalled ambassador to Ethiopia has arrived back in the country, while his Ethiopian counterpart has left the country for Addis Ababa. There was also a meeting convened by Somalia's Ministry of Foreign Affairs to brief the members of the diplomatic corps on the latest development. There was also a statement issued by key international organizations such as the African Union, the European Union, and the Arab League, and also governments like the United States and Egypt, calling for respect to Somalia's sovereignty and territorial integrity. To add on that, the Somalia's government has rejected a statement by IGAD, calling it biased towards Ethiopia. Meanwhile, the plans to restart the talks between Somalia and Somaliland is currently in question following this new development. However, President Hassan Sheikh Mahmoud has reiterated his government's commitment to continue the talks to iron out the difference. Mohamed Kahir, CGTN Mogadishu, Somalia.
Now, the additional deployment follows attacks by gunmen who invaded communities in Plateau State on Christmas Eve, killing over 150 people. Analysts believe the government needs to employ more than just a heavy hand to bring peace to the area.
Cars and buildings still dot the landscape after gunmen attacked these communities. Thousands of locals who were displaced or taking refuge in camps protected by security personnel in the affected areas. Many others are receiving medical attention in hospitals.
A lot of them came with bows, arrows and machetes. They stabbed me repeatedly. I pretended to be dead. Then they set my house on fire and proceeded to destroy other places.
Families here were preparing for Christmas when the attackers came. Nigeria's defense chief says some suspects behind the attacks have been arrested, while others are on the run. Local leaders are calling for the perpetrators to be apprehended and made to face justice.
These people are going about killing innocent people. Are they stronger than the Nigerian army? Are they stronger than Nigeria? Where are those people killing that they are not known? Are they from the blues?
Plateau State has witnessed increased attacks by gunmen in recent years, many of whom are farmers and herders from different ethnic groups. This is the deadliest incident since May last year, when armed groups attacked villages and killed over 100 people in the state. The governor of the state, Caleb Mustwang, has declared 7 days of mourning. Flags are flying at half-mast as a mark of honor in memory of the deceased. Security analysts say the state has been volatile for years and a military approach alone cannot lead to lasting peace. There are calls for the government to engage farmers and herders who have long been at loggerheads.
What we have is clearly ethnic intolerance that finds, fire in religious coloration. There has to be some local intervention teams and the rest. We must look at the non-kinetic. So force alone by armed forces will not take us to, where we want.
The military says more troops have been deployed to the state.
We have worked minds to identify the vulnerabilities and the gaps that were exploited by the bad people. And we are out to address those vulnerabilities, to strengthen the force, to address the gaps, so that you can sleep with your 2 eyes closed in your villages.
More equipment has also been taken to the state to enhance the efficiency of the troops. The government says it's trying to ensure the communities are secure while investigations are carried out. Tasum Akendi, CGTN Jos.
Ino internet wenyukanga ekizungirizi ate kamera yayo lumamyo bannange eryandaka ku buggo Uno mugano gwennyini. Funa kabodi supakati ku nsimbi ezisaliddwako ng'otandika kusinyisa emitwalo 49 zokka. Usasule mpola mpola sinsi 833 buli lunaku. Weewangulira omugano gwa kabodi supa okuva ku MTN weefunire GB 2 eza data wa MTN buli mwezi okumala emyezi 8. Weegambulire kabodi supa katikati okuva ku dduuka lya MTN wonna mu ggwanga. Everywhere you go, MTN. Ekolera wansi w'amateeka ga UCC.
In this family, we can't agree on anything. Martha. We can't even agree on what to watch. All the games to play.
Martha.
Ndoza Mulabi, we can't even agree on what to eat. At least the one thing for now we can all agree on is the soap to use. He likes that it's big and lasts long. Anti-economy. I like that it keeps my skin smooth. Ate alina echovu. And the children like that. It smells amazing. Everyone is happy. Movit soap comes in 4 fantastic flavors. Movit family soap is truly soap for the whole family.
Movit. All day confidence.
When it is KB o'clock, you need more from your voice bundles. That's why MTN is offering you more minutes across all networks that don't expire. Buy the new 90-minute Freedom Bundle at 5K or the 200-minute bundle at 10K and just with no limit. Katiteri ate, no excuses. Make the call now. Dial *100 *21 hash or use the My MTN app and enjoy your Freedom Bundle today. MTN. Together we are unstoppable. Terms and conditions apply. MTN is regulated by the Uganda Communications Commission.
Welcome back. I'm glad you're still tuned to the only channel that tends to inspire you. Our news continues as we delve more into the stories. Now, while it will take some time to establish the specific factors that led the collision between Japan Airlines Airbus A350-900 and a Japan Coast Guard Bombardier -8-300 at Tokyo Haneda Airport, players in the aviation industry maintain that the runaway incursions had become a topic of interest in the wider airline industry. Speaking during the IATA's Global Media Day, and Senior Vice President of the Operations Safety and Security, Nick Karine, said that the runaway safety was on the radar of the Airline Association. Karine noted that incursions where a safety risk is created by improper positioning of an aircraft, vehicle or person on a runway had been getting a lot of airplay and political focus in terms of the FAA and a couple of incidents with the air traffic control and some aircraft involved. Those incidents in the USA included one in January 2023, where 2 commercial airliners, a Boeing 737 belonging to Delta Airlines and a 777 belonging to American Airlines, were on a collision course at New York's John F. Kennedy International Airport, and another in Austin, Texas, a few weeks later, where a FedEx freighter was cleared to the land on the same runway from which a Southwest Airlines 737 was cleared to depart. This has since been working to address those issues, and there is no suggestion yet that such remedies are relevant to the Haneda incident. And into the world of football, the Confederation African Football has announced a 40% increase in the prize money for the winner of the Total Energies Africa Cup of Nations. The winner of the Total Energies AFCON will receive $700,000, and then the runner-up of the Total Energies AFCON will now win the $400,000. Each of the two semifinals will receive $250,000 each. Of the four quarterfinalists will also receive $1,300,000 shillings. In another story, relatedly, Senegal captain and talisman Sadio Mane believes that this year's Total Energies CAF Africa Cup of Nations will be the toughest compared to the previous editions. The Teranga Lions skipper was speaking to the CAF Online on the nation's chances of defending the title and what such a feat would mean to him and the nation. Senegal are pitted in what many have deemed as the group of death, where they will be up against Cameroon, Guinea, and the Gambia in Group C. And that does bring us to the end of our lunchtime news. Thank you so much for being a part of us. My name is Patricia Lukoma. Let's meet again at 8 and 10 o'clock.